Welcome back, you guys, and in today's News Daily video, I'm going to focus on the potential future of Ross Barkley. I'm going to reveal to you guys the two main left-back targets that the club are now going to focus their attentions on. So this is going to be another interesting News Daily video. But before I get into anything, today's video is brought to you by the OneFootball app. You know, download the OneFootball app to stay up to date to the latest news coming out from the club. You know, news is going to start piling on very quickly, you guys. It seems like the football season will be returning very soon, somewhere around June, so this could be the perfect opportunity to just stay up to date with the current club events. Download the OneFootball app. You'll find a link below in the description below. Now, to kick things off with the first story for the day, I want to talk about Ross Barkley. Now, a quick disclaimer, I'm not here to impose my thoughts and opinions on you guys, but I am going to stay honest with my thoughts and my opinions, so you'll hear my conclusion at the end of the story. But to kickstart the news, reports are suggesting that Newcastle's 300 million takeover should be completed in the next few weeks, so if you're a Newcastle fan, you're definitely excited. And the news just gets better because it seems like Rafa Benitez could be possibly making a return back to Newcastle. It seems like Steve Bruce may be replaced, and Benitez is already thinking of transfer targets that he wants at Newcastle for next season. And the two main targets being looked at are John Stones and Ross Barkley. Now the question is, should we sell Ross Barkley? Now he has shown some decent glimpses of form. You know, his last two games against Everton and Liverpool really highlighted, the ability the player does possess. However, with Barkley, the issue has always been about consistency. Can he consistently show his best when the games are really difficult, when the games are very tight, when the games need that moment of inspired brilliance and magic? Can Ross Barkley do that? And I'm getting the impression that he can't consistently do this. Now, in every game that Ross Barkley does perform in, there seems to be a common denominator, and that's space in the final third. Now, when you assess his games against Everton and Liverpool, he got to play in a system that gave him a lot of space in the final third. Playing in this system gave Barkley more space. The game became more expansive, and when the game is more expansive, I've noticed that Barkley tends to be a lot more confident when playing his football. The reality is though, how often can we use a system like this? And when you consider players returning like Ruben Loftus-Cheek and with us signing Hakim Ziyech for next season, where does this leave Ross Barkley in the pecking order? And finally, with the Euros happening next summer, I'm sure that Barkley has ambitions to represent his nation during that tournament. And is it going to help his cause if he's on the bench, not getting that consistent game time? Now, when we signed Barkley, he cost us 50 million, and I'm curious to know how much money he's going to cost now. For an English midfield player, an international around 25, 26 years old, we could get a premium if we sold him. And with Newcastle having the money to spend and the money to blow, you can expect them to make statements when the window does open again. I'm sure that they might spend maybe 30 to even 40 million to sign Ross Barkley. And yes, he's shown that he does have decent form. He's not a terrible, useless player. However, is he of that required level for us? I mean, let's keep things real. Are you going to use Ross Barkley over your Ziyeches, your Rubens, your Masons? You're really not going to do that. I've always got the impression that Barkley's game time this season has always been pretty circumstantial. So from a purely business point of view, I'm guessing that it makes sense to sell Ross Barkley, reinvest the money that we make from him back into other signings, and maybe just move on, appreciate his time here, and obviously plan for bigger and better things. But you guys in the comment section below, give me your thoughts and opinions. Would you be happy to sell Ross Barkley? Do you think it makes business sense to do so? Or do you think that he's finally showing his potential and he's still worth investing that patience in? You guys let me know below. Now moving on to the second story today. This story is in regards to the left back options that we're looking at. And from what I'm hearing, it seems like we are starting to focus our attentions on two final candidates. Those players are Alex Telles and Tagliafico from Ajax. Now, this is currently at this point in time. I mean, who knows, let's say in a worst case scenario, we weren't able to sign each player because, both players are attracting a ton of interest from many clubs across Europe. So this isn't necessarily finalized in stone. But this does give us a good indication in regards to the profile of player that we're looking to sign for that left back position. Both players are in that similar ball range when it comes to price. You know, you can sign both of these guys for under 30 million, and in a market where I feel like a lot of players' valuations will be a bit less, this could be the perfect time to invest in either player. However, there is a difference between Telles and Tagliafico, and I can't help but think, what would each signing imply? If we sign Alex Telles, I can imagine that maybe Lampard is prioritising on crosses from the flanks, you know, similar to how Liverpool play, because we do have a lot of movement inside the final third. There is a focus for the tactics for players to make runs inside the box as well, so you need quality distribution from out wide. With Reece James, you know, we have that guaranteed quality, but down the left-hand side, you know, we've really struggled for that consistent quality creativity that we need. With Telles, he's one of the best dead ball specialist players. You know, the guy takes set pieces, the guy's crosses from deep positions are amazing as well. And if you've got guys like your Tammys, your Masons, your Rubens making those runs inside the box, they could really profit from distribution like that. With Tagliafico, he could be seen as a more well-rounded left back. He's very good defensively, very good one-on-one, very good at progressing the ball out from deep. He has good pace, huge stamina. The guy's got a massive engine. He can play box to box very easily. And as we've seen, you know, we've seen that telepathic connection between Ziyech and Tagliafico. And I feel like this could be a useful signing. You know, I like the idea that Tagliafico and Ziyech do have that relationship already. So when it comes to gelling with the team, that understanding I feel could be very useful and could really help both players acclimatise to the demands of the Premier League. Interestingly though, you guys, we do have interest and competition from Paris Saint-Germain for both players. So this tells us that if PSG are able to maybe agree a fee for one of them, I guess it implies that we'll sign the other player. You know, the left back market this year is going to be absolutely crazy. So many left backs available for very good fees. So many teams need to strengthen in this area as well. So we could be surprised, I feel, by the final left back that we sign. Now, personally, I do like the idea of Tagliafico. I think that his defensive abilities are going to be key for our young attacking wingers in front, because, you know, I can't imagine and expect young under 23 wingers to be perfect defensively. It just doesn't work like that. And I think that with Tagliafico's ability to already speak English, play in a very similar system, because Ajax and the way we play are very, very similar, I personally feel like this would be a no-brainer situation. I think it makes a lot of sense to sign Tagliafico. Yes, I know that Telles' value is coming down like every single week, anytime new reports come. He's an amazing player in the final third, you know, dead balls as well. However, I'm just thinking in the Premier League where a lot of teams tend to attack down the flanks. A lot of teams have that pace in behind as well. I haven't seen him be challenged too much in the Portuguese league. There aren't that many top quality teams, you guys. You know, there's like levels in that league. And I think that Telles might find things a bit more difficult if he was to sign for us. We now move on to the final stories for today. Now, remember the story that I told you guys a few months back. You know, I spoke about a player that we've stopped our interest in due to the emergence of a young youth player that came through this season. I told you guys that that was Reece James, and the player that we've stopped our interest in completely was Akemi from Dortmund. Now, it finally came up from The Athletic that yes, Reece James is the player that has been prioritised. We've ended our interest in Akemi. It seems like the player will be returning back to Real Madrid. And the reason why I'm telling you guys this isn't to just earn clout points to show off. I don't care about that stuff whatsoever. I'm just here to reassure you that when I am lucky enough to hear news behind the scenes, you know, I'm not just giving you guys nonsense. I know that you've seen the stories, you've seen the videos, and a lot of times I have been proven right, and I have let you guys know in advance. Of course, I'm not here to bait out who's telling me this stuff, but I can tell you that the news I hear is good because it does come from people that have connections with football agents, people in the industry, etc., and people who are close to the club. So again, that's all I'm here to clarify. I'm not here to show off, earn clout points, etc. If I did, I'd be a lot more shameless, you guys. Now, this news came out from a Q&A released by The Athletic, and you know, he spoke about a lot of interesting things. Of course, there were some discussions in regards to Luis Campos and whether we might try to sign him back again. You know, I was saying that this won't happen, The reason why we've signed Petr Cech is because we're not looking to sign a director of football anymore. That was something that Liam clarified in his article released today. And interestingly enough, of course, when it comes to our financial situation this summer, we're in a very good position. You know, we're about to earn money from the Morata sale. We still have money from the Hazard sale as well. And with reports suggesting that your Bakayokos, your Barkleys, your Alonsos, your Emersons, etc., could all be leaving as well, you know, we're gonna have money to spend. However, the issue is, are we necessarily gonna spend big? And yeah, that's always been the plan, to really reinvest heavily this summer. But due to the pandemic situation, you know, a lot of clubs have to be a lot more responsible with their spending. It would set a bad message in football, knowing that, you know, the NHS, a lot of people are suffering after being furloughed, etc., that this isn't affecting football. Football's in its own bubble that's completely unaffected by what's happening in society. You know, it could be a very bad PR move to make. However, it depends on, you know, how the season ends and so many factors. So I'm not here to tell you straight away that, you know what, we do have the money, but we won't spend it. It's going to be a case of being patient, seeing what new news comes out, seeing how the restart of the league campaign goes as well. There's so many factors, you guys. However, I do feel confident that we are going to sign key players that we need for key positions. So let's see what happens. But you guys, on that note, I'm going to wrap things up and keep things moving. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment and subscribe. I'm NewCastle. This is Blue Lions TV. I'll see you guys later tonight for a live stream at 6 p.m. featuring Alex Goldberg and Joe Speedy. I hope you guys are going to enjoy. We're going to speak about a host of topics and discussions. And to end things, we'll be doing a quick Q&A. So again, if you guys want to participate and get involved, make sure you come back at 6 p.m. to watch a live stream. I'm NewCastle. This is Blue Lions TV. I'll see you guys later with some more videos.